Hi, I'm Ginger Post. I'm a dairy farmer from Volga, South Dakota. And as with all farmers this time of year, it's about the 21st of September, we're concerned right now with getting our crops in. Now, we've already chopped silage. We did that back in August, and you'll see some footage of that later on in the video. But right now we're worried about finishing the corn out and getting it ready to combine. Now you can see this ear is very small. It fits in the palm of my hand. The reason for that is we had a really big drought this year. From about the 1st of July on, we really didn't get any rain. Now, the ground that we're standing on right now is very light. The top soil is thin, and there's a clay pan layer, and then it's sand underneath. So that means that it doesn't hold any water. Now, that's not very good for the corn, and so when there's a drought, when we don't get much rainfall, it really suffers, and we end up with corn like this. This ear of corn should be about 4 times this size. Now we've got ground just a few thousand feet away that actually is lower and has water underneath, and that corn is beautiful. It's amazing the difference you can see in one field just because of the soil type. We've moved to the other side of the field. We're about 1,000 feet from where we started. Now this is the ear of corn that I showed you in the other part of the field. This is what a more traditional corn ear should look like. Now this corn is going to make about 35 bushels to the acre. This corn is going to be 150 bushels to the acre. It's a big difference. The main reason is the ground that we're on right here is a lot heavier, plus there's subsoil moisture. If we were to take a shovel and dig down, at about 2 feet, we'd actually hit water. Now, that basically, the corn irrigates itself from the bottom up. The roots are able to go deep enough to access that water, so we get this great, big, beautiful corn. Now, this is the first year we've planted corn here. Last year this was pasture, but we've decided to not raise beef cattle anymore. And because of the drought, we were actually able to work this ground when we haven't been able to in the past. So we'll see if the weather holds the way it has been, if we can continue to work this ground, or if we get a really wet series of years, it may have to go back to grass.
Today's the 15th of August, and we're starting silage chopping. Now, we're actually about a month ahead of a normal year. We've had extremely dry conditions through July and the first part of August, and the corn has really suffered, so it needs to be chopped now rather than mid-September when we usually do. You'll see the big thing that we're going to fight is not having a lot of corn. The ears are small and they haven't filled. The plants themselves are almost as big as usual, but there won't be much grain in the silage, which really reduces the quality for the cattle. But we'll see how it turns out when we're all said and done. As you can see, this ear of corn didn't fill at all. There's a few kernels at the bottom that developed, but otherwise the rest of the ear is bare. This isn't going to do much good for my cows.